All right. Welcome to, I was saying this was a cross between like an inspirational interview and a Tuesday talk. So it's both of those things. I'm Hannah Levin from Heartfelt Wellbeing. I'm here with my friend Kate King, and we are converging on Zoom across time zones. And we have some really exciting collaborations coming up. So we thought we'd do a live about who we are, what we're doing, and how you might like to engage with us in the future. So Kate, why don't you start and just give a little introduction to who you are, what you do?
Course, yeah. So I bring the mind, mental health, personal growth kind of work to our synergy. I'm a 17-year licensed professional counselor as well as a board certified art therapist. I am the published author of two books. My last book, The Radiant Life Project, actually won an award recently. So now I can say award-winning book. And so I love to share just this inner work about how to improve your life from the inside out, including trauma healing, relationship work, investigating core beliefs, different thinking patterns that might be holding you back or keeping you in a place where you don't feel free or completely healthy. So my work kind of encompasses a pretty broad variety of things, all the way from art therapy and creativity to neuroscience and nervous system regulation. I weave in a little bit of Buddhist philosophy and psychology because I went to graduate school that was founded by a Buddhist monk. And so I have a pretty in-depth training in meditation, mindfulness, and transpersonal counseling psychology. So it's a pretty broad blend. I also do parts work, which is a facet of internal family systems therapy, which is kind of taking the psychology world by storm right now in its popularity. So I weave all of these things into my teachings. And when Hannah and I get together, I think we do a really nice sort of ping pong between our two different modalities that weaves together so nicely. So is that enough of an intro or do you need more?
I think that's great.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's kind of like these worlds that we both function in, and then there's like that, like the Venn diagram, right? Where it's like the overlap is really awesome what we create together too. So yeah, I'll kind of do the same thing and share that I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and a yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga for 20 years now, which is wild. And I've been in Ayurvedic practice for 8 years. So I work specifically with women and specialize in women's health and work with people in rebalancing their mind, body, and spirit. So some of it looks very much like food choices and looking at when we're doing certain things, so it's like a lot of habit implementation and things about sleep and digestion and pooping and meditation and these pieces that are how we live our lives, and this ancient knowledge from India that really is so applicable still to our lives today. Like our human physiology hasn't changed that much in the last few thousand years. And learning how to live in rhythm is really what I teach. So it's about living in rhythm with nature and the five elements and your individual unique elemental constitution. And so my joy is really empowering women to know and love themselves in their unique superpowers and to address the challenges that might be inherent in how they're embodied in this time right now. And so we're also working with how we live in this modern time. Goes back to nervous system regulation, some of the things that Kate just mentioned, um, and creativity. So I also have a background in the arts um, and use a lot of creative practices both visual arts, singing, dancing, um, and creativity with food as well. And so it's all kind of all woven together. So I also teach yoga, and it's kind of a blend of um, kind of elemental. I would say my yoga practices are very influenced by my studies with Ayurveda now, and what we need for the season, the time of day, where we are in our life stages, things like that. So it's really awesome to work with Kate, who has these very complementary and somewhat overlapping skills. And so we get to bring both of our skills and talents to the things that we offer together. Yeah. So do you want to say more about that, Kate, like in terms of how we collaborate?
Mhm. Well, I think just on a personality level, we tend to flow really well together and kind of just like in this conversation, hand the baton to each other. And I think we both have a very unique and also similar perspective on healing and on health from the inside out. And we both do a lot of work around helping people have the accountability to really own their own health, and from that place make different choices and connect in new ways and explore in really brave and exciting kind of formats. So we have a nice way of, having these overlaps. Like, for example, our retreat coming up in July, the theme is personal freedom and unlocking that freedom. And I think you and I both have a very similar sense of what it means to really be free from the inside out instead of trying to access it from the outside in and then feeling like it's so conditional on other people's choices or what other people expect or what the society demands. So we will be able to kind of incorporate both of our gifts on these different themes, as well as our background as artists, as well as our backgrounds as people and women and just humans who are also doing this work and walking this journey right alongside all the women that we work with, so that we can really identify both the personal experience as well as the professional side of this, and hopefully bring some new tools, different exercises, different prompts and ideas than people may have previously thought. And I feel like your teachings help make mine more robust, and maybe the same goes for you. Like what was once just sort of a one-dimensional specialty is now much more holistic and rounded, because I think we both really honor the mind, body, heart, soul, spirit system. And we each have approaches that sort of create a three-dimensional sphere out of what women's health and well-being can really look like.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I love how you pointed out that we are on this journey too. I think that that's a really important component to both of us. Like, we are not here saying like we have everything figured out and all knowledge is achieved. It's I think we are both very curious people that are constantly exploring our evolution and then bringing that to the work that we're doing as well, from a place of, not everybody's like us, but that there's constant availability of growth, and that is really inspiring to both of us, and we bring that to our work. So that awareness of like we're never stuck, we are just in a process, and things will continue to change, and we'll have new perspectives and new tools. And so that's what we really seek, both of us, in our practices individually, and then when we come together to really provide for the participants that are coming to spend time with us. Yeah.
Yes. I think it's just, no one person can be anything complete
Yeah.
for an audience, right? Like I bring my work, you bring your work, and they're so complementary because we come from different backgrounds and different skill sets. And you teach things that I don't know about, and yet they really enhance the things that I teach. So it's kind of, I like to just explain it as a synergy because it feels like it blends and flows in a really natural way. And even when we hosted our very first retreat together, it felt kind of like it was our 50th retreat together. Like there's something energetic too that flows really well in the way that we share space and we bring things to our collectives. So I think there's something very physical. There's also something very energetic about the
Yeah.
way we work together.
Yeah. And likewise, I learn a lot when I get to be in the presence of what you're teaching too. So it's really fun. So shall we share about these upcoming opportunities? So we have one in Colorado where Kate lives in the same town in Morrison, Colorado. And so that is a 1-day retreat on July 6th. Would you like to share a little bit about
Sure.
what we'll be doing there?
Yes. So this retreat is sort of nestled in the foothills outside of Denver in a really sweet farmhouse that's on a ranch. It has an expansive front lawn where we can do yoga and we can have some outside experiential, and a really sweet interior of this house where we can join together in community and we can eat the food that Hannah will be providing in Ayurvedic style for us. And this will be from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. So it's a nice long day where you can come together with women who are also interested in this theme of accessing their personal freedom and exploring what might interfere with that or might be blocking them from that path toward the freedom that they so desire. I think it's a really powerful theme for the current state of things right now. There's a lot of angst, and I think a lot of people are struggling. And so to identify some of those blocks and the way that we contribute to our own caged feelings in life and how we get in our own way, as well as how our choice of relationships, life experiences, our career path, all can interfere with feeling free. So we'll do some yoga with Hannah, and then we'll sort of roll into aligned community circle sharing. We'll have some art therapy experientials that'll help you explore where you are and where you hope to be and how to get there. And there will be a lot of shared processing so that you not only get to speak about your experience, but you get to see yourself reflected in the experiences of other women in ways that might surprise you. And there's always so much to learn from a circle of women that when you're not sharing about your personal experience, there can be so much to learn from the experiences of others that's really valuable. Sometimes things you might not even expect. So the day will include the 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, provided for you, as well as tea and coffee. We'll have a little bit of space for you to kind of mingle and meet new people, but we'll also be kind of making it a nice pace of learning and sessions. And hopefully you'll walk away with some tools, some ideas to impact your freedom, some ideas of what to let go of, and hopefully some new friendships and connections with women that can expand and extend even beyond this singular day. And so that you feel like you have a safety net as you explore this work in the future.
Yes. Yeah. So part of that too is looking at um, constitution too, like your personal um, makeup and feeling aware of what comes naturally to you and celebrating that too in terms of that theme of freedom and um, and then yeah, feeling it in your body through yoga and creative movement. And if any of this is feeling like a little edgy for you, like what does that mean, like sharing in a circle or creative movement or art therapy or Ayurvedic food, like if any of those things are feeling like I don't quite know about this, I really encourage you to step outside of the comfort zone of knowing what all of these things are to be, or knowing what things are in order to participate, and to step into this invitation that expansion, like humans are actually most happy when they're learning new ways of being, and that expansion creates this greater and greater potential for freedom. And so just by attending the retreat, you might be like, yeah, I got what I needed, like just by saying yes to coming. Um, and getting to explore from these different facets of art therapy, of inner explorations, of sharing in a group, of movement. All of these pieces are, if they feel uncomfortable for you, I say, great, come on, and we hold a really safe space. I think the two of us as facilitators really create a strong, safe environment for these explorations. And so, yeah, it's very exciting. And yeah, being out in Colorado. So I have some folks from my community. So I work with women online. And so there's some folks out in Colorado that are going to be able to come to this day retreat that I'm really excited about. A couple of whom I've never met in person. I've only been on Zoom with them. And then Kate, you have some folks from your community coming. And so we have a few spots left at the time of recording this, and would love to have anybody else who feels inspired to come join us.
Absolutely. And if you're tentative and you're not sure and you want to ask some questions, I think Hannah and I are both available for answering any of those questions and helping to see if this is aligned for you, because alignment is really important. It feels like you're kind of meant to be in this group, and you show up and then the group shows up for you. So I am happy to answer questions, and I think I speak for Hannah as
Yeah.
well, that she's accessible too through email, phone call, whatever you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So we can, yeah, through both of our websites, you can contact us. So Kate is Radiant Life Project, the Radiant Life Project, right?
At theradiantlifeproject.com.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, theradiantlifeproject.com. Great. And I am heartfeltwellbeing.com, all one word. So, great. Yeah. Let's talk about, we have another longer, more deep dive experience that we'll be offering in October. And that is going to be where I live in Floyd, Virginia. So this will be in the Blue Ridge Mountains in the fall, which will be really beautiful. And we are focusing on this autumn time of deep nourishment and alignment and rest, and cultivating that fall energy, which is a little slowing down and softening a bit. So we'll be gathering October 24th through the 27th at a beautiful retreat center called Anahata, which is the heart chakra. For those of you who don't know, Anahata is the name of the heart chakra. And it's a beautiful retreat center. The main space is huge timber frame gathering space where we'll be doing our indoor classes. We'll see what the weather is. There's also a lovely outdoor space if we're able to be outside. So again, we'll be combining yoga, Ayurveda, art therapy, parts explorations, food. We have a chef for that retreat, but I'm working with her on the recipes. I won't be also cooking for that one. And it's really a great time to kind of step away from the busyness of life, to come, out to rural Virginia and have some connection time for yourself and with other women in sisterhood. What would you like to add to that?
I'm really excited to come to your town and to kind of feel into your lifestyle there. I know that you have a big garden that contributes to so much of your work, and you have so much community that you've built there. So I think it's going to be really special because it will feel like Hannah is with us in the room, and Hannah is also with us in the environment and surrounding area. I'm just excited to feel your energy there in that place that is your home. And I think it'll be, very interesting to do another deep dive. 4 days together, we can really accomplish a lot. The connection and community can deepen to a really special place where the safety and the container that we hold can really facilitate pretty deep and profound transformational growth, and healing for people who come with maybe some wounds around rest and around what it means to nourish yourself, and living in this hustle culture, this fast paced world that so often gets us out of our body and stuck in this cerebral space of our mind where we don't feel well and we don't feel embodied and connected. So I think inviting a group together to focus on what does it really look like to nourish ourselves? How can we nurture the parts of us that are so human and really are not robots, even though our mind wants us to think we are, stepping out of the grind and connecting with the self. I think the timing is also really beautiful because it's before the holiday rush. And I think so many people feel like there's a lot in the end of the year that they either want to do or feel like they have to do, feel obligated to do. So hopefully this can set a framework for some new skills to sort of enter into the holiday season with some different boundaries around protecting your energy and facilitating rest even when things are busy. And it might just allow you to nourish yourself in preparation for what's to come. So I really look forward to it, and I'm excited for the group that'll come together there, and very excited for Anahata and to be at a retreat center. The last retreat that we hosted together in Golden, Colorado, we had a large house where people came every day for 4 days, but they did not sleep there. So this is going to be a little different, where we're all sleeping together on campus and kind of sharing space throughout the nights and the days. That was something that our participants requested in our last retreat. So we're happy to answer that call and provide a little bit of a different feeling. And so, yeah, I just really look forward to it.
Yeah, I think there'll also be a lot of opportunity for connecting with nature. And that's a lot of what Ayurveda is about, is like observing nature as teacher for where we are right now. Like, oh, the leaves are turning colors and falling off the trees. Like, what does that look like in my energy of, like, it's not full on growth energy. Like, our culture kind of asks us to live in eternal summer, like lots of growth, lots of big things, lots of, right? And so how can we like be with what is happening in the natural world and see that as a teacher for us of what we can embody? And the campus there is just gorgeous, and it's along a river too. So if it's warm enough, you can go swimming in the river. But just even spending time with the water, with the earth, with the fresh air. Um, we'll have a fire one night. Like, there's the elemental connectivity there is really lovely. And so very excited um, to get to share that. And yeah, and we'll have lots of food from our garden, hopefully, if the rabbits and deer are friendly to us this year. Um, yeah, and so having that spaciousness is, like you were talking about, Kate, like having the time set aside to fill your inner cup before going into the holidays, I think is really, really a beautiful gift to the self. And we all know when we are well resourced, then we're way more patient and generous and kind in the stress of what may occur in our lives. Yeah,
Absolutely.
great. So shall we share what some past participants have said about their experience coming on retreat with us?
I printed out a testimonial here. This was from the experiential that we had in Golden, Colorado last spring of 2023. It was a rejuvenation theme retreat. And this person said, Kate and Hannah joined together to create a magical experience for the group. They each brought their own flavor, skill set, and offerings in such a way that felt cohesive, safe, and brilliant. This retreat exceeded my expectations. The meals were out of this world. I cannot say enough about the gloriousness that was the food. Kate's art sessions were thoughtful, inspiring, and super effective.
Yay! Awesome. And I have a quote from another person who attended that same retreat. And she said, I want to thank you for the truly amazing retreat. I have done a number of day retreats and some women's programs, and the connection with this group of women was just incredible. And that is in large part due to you creating the space and environment for that to happen. I also liked all of the art activities and the reflections that were provided. It was so beneficial to hear not only our own, but the ones of others as well. I've never really done anything like that. So you can see that or hear that, these women stepped outside of their comfort zones and were able to really benefit from that. And I also just want to speak to you like the larger theme here. You mentioned like there's so much changing in our world right now, and a lot that can be very anxiety producing. And I think that what we are doing is really part of the evolutionary work that is needed in the world right now. Partially the collaboration of two people who are professionals in their own rights coming together to offer something. So it's collaboration over competition, which I think is really important in our world right now. And also the community that comes together, we are initiating a space that is not based in competition, that is not based in comparison, but is based in mutual support and the awareness that when we thrive, everybody is supported to thrive. It's not if you're doing well, then you should feel guilty because other people are suffering, right? It's really this paradigm shift that is so needed in our world right now. And so I'm excited to be participating in that with you, Kate. And I just am excited for all the women that decide to come to either or both of these. You can come to both if you want to, both of these experiences with us, because it is really, I think, the space that is opening up in our world in general. That invitation is there. Like, we are not functioning in isolation as much as our American culture would like us to believe that everybody's out for themselves, It's like, actually, we are interdependent. We can't exist in isolation and thrive. So it is our relationships, our how we speak internally to ourselves, how we nourish ourselves through food and activities and sleep. All of these pieces are really, really key. And so I invite all of us to stop struggling with it in isolation and be like, hey, we're all navigating this journey. And when we come together in collaboration, that's where the magic happens.
Mhm. Beautifully said.
Is there anything else you want to add before we finish up here?
Just really welcoming to whoever feels like this might be aligned. And if the 1 day or the 4 day, you're not quite sure, I would encourage you to start with the 1 day, get a flavor for Hannah and myself, and kind of dip your toe in. And then if you want deeper exploration, we have that for you. And I think, Hannah, is this our fourth conversation together? If people are wanting to learn more about us, you have several of our
Yes.
conversations that they can take a peek at, listen to how we teach together and how we flow. Um, and I think that, there's really something here for kind of wherever you are on the healing road, even if you're just like, what what are we talking about here? What is mind body health? Or what is Ayurveda? I think that you can begin here, you can be somewhere in the middle, or you can be a person who's really walked this for a long time and had a lot of awareness and still find a lot of growth from these experiences. And that's something that I think is really unique about the retreats we offer, is that they're both sort of specialized and nurturing, but they're also really expansive and sort of can meet you at a place where you're at. So thank you, and I hope to see you at our retreats.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today, Kate, and hopefully this will get out to lots of people. And hope to see you that are watching at a retreat this year, either July or October. And we have landing pages for both of those that have a lot more information about the retreats and payment information and all of that. And again, like Kate mentioned, if you have any questions, please reach out to either of us and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks so much.